Hello, hello. Welcome to Leap Taken. Here at Leap Taken, I talk about all things witchy, craft related, law of attraction, manifesting, esoteric, and everything else in between. So, this is another planning video I want to get into. The planners I'm going to start with is my daily grind planner. This is my goal setting planner. So, I sort of just want to give you an idea. One, I'm going to decorate, and I'm kind of going to talk through. This is my catch-all planner. This is the planner that I use for, well, everything. This is the main planner, I guess would be the right words to say. So I have everything in this planner here. Appointments, to-dos, anything that I need to keep track of, birthdays, everything. There is some overlap, but I love working in this A5 planner. And on a personal note, I decided I was sort of going through just having a small purse era where I just kind of like a crossover, like bag or something like that when I'm out and about. But I decided I wanted to go back to having a bigger bag again because I like having my stuff with me. I like it because this can come with me. And a lot of times I might be out and I want to kind of check on something or make a note of something or add something to my planner. And instead, I end up putting it like in my notes app on my phone, which, using technology is great. The problem is now I have to remember when I get back home to check that note app. And I guess I could set a reminder and things like that. And sometimes I do, but it's not working. And like I said, I like having my stuff with me. So this will leave the house. This does not leave the house. So let's get into this one. I'm going to go to March, and I have my plans for the month of March all here. A little bit of color coding, a little bit of fun stuff in it. And I have been, I belong to a Facebook group for this planner so that I can keep track of it basically is like accountability. And one of the things that I have found, and I actually found someone else on YouTube who uses this planner, and they say by the time the weekend comes, they just never fill in the dates. And I notice I am perpetually, come Friday, Saturday, Sunday, sometimes Friday, but definitely Saturday and Sunday, I almost never fill this in ahead of time. I'm usually back dating it or back planning, which is fine. Now, I say that's fine because I just realized, not just realized, I'm just accepting the fact that I'm okay with the backfilling. And I want to talk about this as I sort of finish out this week and look ahead for the next week. Why that matters so much is because sometimes we can put a lot of pressure on ourselves, me included. Definitely, this is something I see I've been doing unnecessarily to myself, just putting undue stress where there really shouldn't be. This should be an activity that I look forward to, a way to track my goals and my accomplishments and anything I'm doing to achieve that goal, whatever it is. This should be a fun place, right? Because of me, not the planning system, I sometimes I put a lot of pressure on myself, and what should be fun turns into not very much fun. It turns into kind of like a nightmare. It turns into not a good time. And I want to mix and match these colors. There's something about this kind of like cottagey looking tape that I like. But anyway, yeah, I just realized that I knew I was doing it. I don't want to say I just realized that. I knew I was doing it. But I figure I needed that pressure. I needed that. I didn't. No one does. We don't need to do that to ourselves. Like, there's enough pressure in the world. There's enough things going on. Like, why am I making my life harder by, stressing myself out over, oh, I wrote it down and I didn't do it. Oh, well, I messed up. And I didn't mess up. I did not mess up. Actually, what I did was I had an intention to do something. It didn't work out, and that's okay. And I need to be okay with that. And sounds simple. These are words that I can say out loud, but realistically, I really struggle with doing it. So these are Cottage Witch sticker set that I got from Ink Goddess Creations some time ago. Actually, I ordered this and I wanted to go ahead and actually use them. This is another issue that I'm confronting, and I'm going to definitely deal with this, and this for good. When I order stickers and things like that, like it's okay. It's okay that I don't use them right away, but at the same time, I don't like having so many things and collecting so many items. I don't even remember what I have. I can't even keep track. So therefore, I would love to have used it, but I didn't because I forgot I even owned it. I don't like that. That's excess in a way that it's not abundance. It just feels unorganized and wasteful, and that I'm not a fan of. So I'm going to be doing a project where I sort of organize all of my planner stash, my craft supply stash, just a little bit better, so that going forward, this doesn't happen again. Because I was really looking forward to using these stickers, and yeah, I've had them for a couple months now, where I did nothing with them because I completely forgot I had them. And for some people, it's like, oh, I have so much stuff, it doesn't matter. It's something triggering about that to me. So it reminds me of certain people I know who, they do, because of how they were brought up, they didn't have a lot. So they do take pride in being able to own a lot of things. And, that's just having the items makes them feel secure. I don't like that. Well, I didn't grow up that way. I didn't grow up feeling lack, like I didn't have enough. It was different for me. So I don't have those feelings. So for me, it just feels like I'm not being very gracious to the universe for being in a position to have these things, and I have them and I don't even use them. That's what it feels like to me. And it feels like I'm not being grateful. And I don't like that feeling. But I wanted to talk, that's just one thing. There's a couple things. I'm just being really upfront about this planning process and what it really means. And this is just, this is paper planning, but just in general, even if you're just setting the goals in your head. One of the things, this backdating thing, I kind of really want to harp in on this as it relates to practicing magic and so forth. So when you are getting into this, or it doesn't matter how long you've been practicing magic, let me tell you something. You will sometimes reach a period of time where you're kind of in a magical slump. You're not really doing anything. You're not practicing. You're not doing the things, each lunar cycle goes by and maybe you just kind of stop paying attention. You just kind of not doing anything. You haven't given up on witchcraft. You just in a slump. And sometimes for some people that could just go on for days, weeks, months, and for some people years. I just want to say, if you needed someone to say it, it's perfectly fine. It happens. Sometimes that wasn't our intention, our intention was to learn and to practice and keep learning and, build community or be a part of a community. And it just didn't work out. It didn't work out that way right now and for some of us, it's not even other things going on in our lives. You just aren't right now committed to the practice like you had been. And that can be rough when there's not this big thing like, oh, well, we were sick, or, oh, I was going through this. You weren't going through anything. It just kind of fell into a slump. I mean, there is something, but you kind of need to do a little digging to find out what it is. Why are you feeling this way? Trust me, there's a reason. You just sort of need to kind of figure out what that is. And only you really can answer that question. No one else can answer that question for you. But what I will say from my position on this and being in slumps and things like that, whether it's your magical life, whether it's goal setting or, whatever it is, the first step is recognizing you're in a slump. The first step is owning it. owning it. Okay, you know what? I am like I'm not doing what I said I was going to do. Maybe you don't really understand why that is. It's okay if you don't. But acknowledgement is the first step, right? So once you finally acknowledge, okay, this is what it is, this is how I feel, the next step is going to be, well, do you want to do something about it? Right? Because let's not say, oh, you have to get up and you have to do this. No, you don't have to do anything. Do you want to? Only you can make that decision. Do you want to? Maybe you don't do magic the way you used to anymore. So maybe that's what it's about. Or maybe the way, in my case, with some of the things, the systems that I have in place, maybe I need to approach these a lot differently, like being okay with backdating, meaning I go back in and fill in the days and what I did or didn't do. And if I did not do very much, being okay with that and not, beating myself up. Same to you with your practice. If you find you're not doing the things, don't beat yourself up. It's okay. Maybe this is just not your time right now to be doing something. Our bodies are in tune with the rhythms of the natural world. So that means goal setting, your magical practice. I'm basically hinting at if you're not really focused on living your life by the wheel of the year, you might want to consider that. So for you, it might be a situation of why do I keep missing these full moon cycles? I want to charge my crystals at the full moon. Why am I not, reading more about a specific path or a specific subject when you know you're called to it? Why am I not following up? Why? Because maybe this is not your time to do so. Maybe you're not lazy. Maybe you're just not in the space right now where it makes sense to do it right now. Maybe you're in a time where you can just jot down your ideas about it, but maybe you stay inactive right now. Maybe it's not so important that you actually follow through with all of these things. Maybe you need to get to the space where you're okay with that, And that's a tough pill to sometimes swallow because it sounds almost like you're accepting some sort of failure, but you're really not. Now, let me get down my top priorities for this week. We're coming into spring. I'm definitely feeling, sort of the energy of early spring, of, just kind of planting things and getting out there in a garden. And in my case, metaphorically speaking, sort of just start planting things and writing things down and just taking some quiet time to visualize and start to kind of see it through versus going in and rushing in. My sun sign is in Aries, I have a really bad habit of coming in with all the fire. I will come blazing through. I'm ready to just get into it, whatever the new thing is. And I tend to run out of energy before it's done, or I'm bored with it. To be quite frankly, I get bored with something I'm fully aware of, and part of me, instead of beating myself up about it, maybe that's not such a bad thing. Maybe I just need to approach a new project differently. Instead, what I'm going to do is split my focus, and my priority is going to be developing this nonfiction work that I've basically been sort of planning and doing stuff about, but I need to put it together now. So that's what I'm going to be doing. And my other priorities are daily self-care, which is a magical practice in itself, because essentially I enchant almost every product or anything I buy or make. So my daily self-care, by the way, includes my skincare, overall body care. Like I make sure I'm using a certain scrub or something like that. Everything from my nails, hair, feet, all that sort of stuff. Taking vitamins, supplements, and all that. That's daily self-care, getting enough water. Home care is also, because I'm a cottage witch, my home care involves essentially cleaning the house and any projects that I have around the house as well. That's part of the home care, even art projects, because if I intend to make it into decor, then it's part of the home. So that's part of it as well. So I actually have something I'm working on as well. And then I have ritual work as my other priority. So I know that the spring equinox is this week. So that's part of the ritual work as well. And that is a goal for me because I have a coven. So is certain things are going to get done anyway. But then there's personal ritual work that I don't want to skip or avoid because I'm so preoccupied with everything else. So that's why I've created as a goal, because there are personal things of rituals that I want to make sure that I also, keep up with as well. And then finally, I have it's just a goal. It's called get off meds. So I'm essentially off my medication. And right now the goal, and I'm wrapping up for March. After March, these goals are going to reset and they're going to be something different. But right now, I need to do the activities to support this goal. So that's what I'm doing. And those are holistic activities. So everything from meditation, yoga, weightlifting, cardio, which is for me just on a treadmill, certain herbal tea blends and things like that, my diet, my overall state of being is also important. So my emotional health, all of that is in here. So this is the name of the goal, but the individual activities that I do support that. So yeah, so this is basically my week ahead. And I just sort of wanted to decorate this page. And I wanted to have this conversation because, boy, I know a lot of us, I first of all, I know that this is true because I talk to people who really feel guilty about not being further along in their witchcraft practice than they would have liked. They wish that they were further along and they're not. And it sucks because, they would really, when we start off on this journey, we all have ideals, we all have goals, and we're all optimistic about certain things, right? And we think it's going to happen that way. And then, the mundane life gets in the way, unfortunately, and it doesn't quite go the way you think. And it's challenging. It's really challenging sometimes. The magical and the mundane. For me personally, I always say being a magical person, practicing magic doesn't mean I don't experience problems. I don't skip over all of that. I still, can have obstacles and problems and struggles, just like everyone else, because we're all having a human experience here. So no one is above that I'm aware of, unless you're not all human. But we're not, having it. So, it's okay. And, we just need to give ourselves permission for it to be okay. And like I said, these words sound good, but some of us, and I'm talking about myself, have struggled with understanding that they're not just words. These need to be actual thoughts, and this needs to be your outlook. And don't just do this some of the time. This is all of the time thinking. That's just been my issue. Like, okay, you have to think like this all of the time, not just some of the time. Cut yourself a break. I have to tell myself it's okay. You're doing the best you can. Also, there's no one standing over me telling me, you got to get this done. You better get this done. No one is doing that. So why am I doing this to myself? I'm basically creating this idea. I'm trying to find the right washy ending. I'm basically creating this stressful situation for myself because there's no person in my life doing that. I'm doing it to myself. And that, by the way, the more you do that, you just won't do anything because you don't feel good about any of it. So you'll avoid the task. You'll avoid working toward the goal. I definitely know that's true. And it could just be like an endless cycle of this if you're not careful. And this is with anything. I'm just being vulnerable, sharing my own issues with this way of thinking, of just having just way too much stress. And you notice I'm not blaming anyone. I'm not blaming social media. I'm not blaming, an influencer or someone else or watching other channels, because quite frankly, that's not even what it is. It's not. So I can't even do that. And I won't, because I don't think that's really true. So I set up this page because my intention is to write out, because I have that home care here. So I'm going to write out basically a spring cleaning list of the things that I want to do here. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so I have my spring cleaning list, and right now it's going to be mostly the kitchen. And I left room in case I add anything else. So, and it's what you would expect. I need to wipe down. I have a lot of kitchen cabinets. I am so grateful. I love my home. Cannot express that enough. I envisioned all of this. I manifested it, and I need to really maintain it at this time. So I'm going to do a wipe down of all the kitchen cabinets. I need to go inside of every one of those cabinets and drawers. Let me make a note of that. Drawers. And I need to go through and organize everything and donate things that I'm no longer going to use, like small appliances and things of that nature, or just, some things are going to get thrown out. It's definitely time. And then my blinds in my kitchen, that's the one place outside of a bathroom where, you really have to be keeping up on that, because with the kitchen, though, it's like grease. And I've noticed that. So I need to do a really good job of getting those blinds cleaned up. And then the window themselves. So my inside and outside, because I can access the outside without a problem. So I need to get out there and clean those windows, because they're dirty. I don't like looking out of a dirty window. I need to wipe down all appliances, other than how you normally would just, do a quick wipe. Like I need to really get in there and really clean. And then my floor is deep cleaned. So I'm thinking I want to get a steamer, really bad, but until I do, that just means like really mopping it extra, probably more than one round of mopping. That's deep cleaning for me, the floors. And then which involves, of course, adding on the back end, like the last run through, you're going to do like a floor wash, a magical floor wash as well. And then it's going to be for health, prosperity, abundance, that sort of stuff, and definitely protection. I need to put down some new kitchen rugs. I want to get rid of the ones that I have in a kitchen, so I need to do that. So that's why I list all this out, because I actually have to purchase some new ones. I'm looking for something specific. I've been going to the stores looking for something, and I don't like the design, so I won't buy them. I need to hang up new spring kitchen decor. So I still have the garland on the very top of my cabinets from the Yule season, so that needs to go. And then I need to set up my Hestia altar in the kitchen, so that needs to happen as well. So this is something, my intention is actually to do this Monday. Monday are my reset days, not Sunday. I know for some people it's Sunday. Monday, that's for me. That's when I do basically most of my housework, on a Monday. And then, in between, but like that is my day. I like to get, and it's been like that since the days of being a stay-at-home wife. It was like that because everyone left on Monday. The whole house, the kids were at school. At the time, the husband, he wasn't remote. I remember he left the house, so that was like, oh, all these people have left. And I can put the house back the way I want once they're all gone. It's very difficult to do that on a Sunday because everyone was home. But anyway. So this is my spring cleaning list, and this is sort of the setup. So one of the things I'm doing is, instead of writing in ahead of time, and this is my schedule, this is how it was meant to be used, I believe. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to write my schedule for the day, and then I'll come over here, and this is the daily page, and I will set up the daily page that morning or sometime that day. And then I'll put what I've done or what I believe I'm going to do, depending obviously on what time I'm sitting down and work on this. But this is how I'm giving myself room to use these wonderful tools, these paper planner tools, and not feel like I'm failing and I'm not achieving my goals. So this is something I needed to kind of get out of my head, get on a piece of paper, and then going forward, I'm not going to be so hard on myself, and I'm just going to take it as it comes. And I feel like I'm going to have a lot less pressure, and I'm going to find that I'm using this a lot more than I have been because it's no pressure, if that makes any sense. And I would suggest, like, if you're working on a grimoire, a magical book of shadows, and you feel like you have a lot more blank pages than not, and you'd like to fill that up more, but you don't want just nonsense. You want it to mean something. These are my goals that I'm working on. I would like to accomplish this. This does mean something. So I totally understand that. Just take it a page at a time and less stress, and just work on it. And eventually, over time, that book gets filled up. In my case, eventually, I'll start to see and I can measure the activities, the things, the tasks that I've done to actually achieve these goals. So this is my new approach to my planning. It maybe to others, they've been doing it like this all this time. I have been pre-planning and then not being able to achieve all the things that I planned and feeling really bad about myself. So that ends now. So I'm done with that. So hopefully this has been helpful. I've enjoyed just kind of talking through this. Honestly, doing some of these videos can be very therapeutic for me because I get to I'm sharing, yes, but ultimately I'm just sitting in a room by myself and I'm talking it out. And it just feels like, helpful to kind of talk it out sometimes. So I hope that this was helpful to you. Thanks for watching. I am Mika. This is Leap Taken. Go ahead and like the video if you've enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't already and you would like to. Consider hitting the join button to join Leap Taken membership. That does support the channel and there are perks. Also, head over to my website at leaptaken.com. You can check out the services that I offer. And as always, thank you again for watching. I really appreciate you all. Bye.